This is Chris with Casual EDH, and today I'm going to be opening up 12 Phyrexia All-Be-One set boosters. I will say that my pulls so far from the set have not been the greatest, and I'm sure that this is going to turn things around. I already see a list card here in the back, so let's go ahead and see what I get. So, just a quick aside, Shieldred's Head Cleaver, like, who okayed this card? I mean, it's a fine card, but really, Shieldred's Head Cleaver? I'm not sure about the name on that one. Bladed Ambassador. I'm not a fan of Bladed Ambassador personally, but I like the art on that. Capricious Hellraiser. I am tired of seeing them. I got 4 Oil Slick versions of them out of 10 completed booster packs. I am done seeing this guy for a while. Oh, I'm so happy I got this card in foil. Sinew Dancer. Just a beautiful card. It's not really that important of a card, but it's a beautiful card. Fist of the Suns. You may pay Wooburg rather than pay the mana cost of spells that you cast. Doesn't Joda do that as well? Could be a good backup. Might also put that in my dragon deck. I have an Dragon deck, and some of the stuff in that deck is kind of expensive. Alright. Got a gold signature card here. Good for me. So they do have this cycle of sphere lands here. Like the Fair Basilica, there's one in each color, and they basically all come into play tapped, add for 1 color for whatever color they are. And they also have 2 tap sack and then draw a card. I kind of like these. The 2 tap sack is a really nice effect. There's also cards that can utilize spheres, not too many, but you can use them if you want. I don't think they're bad cards. What else do we got in here? Rustvine Cultivator. Talk about that for just a second here as well. It has tap, put an oil counter on it, and then tap, remove an oil counter, untap a target land you control. Any land, not basic. It's a little clunky to get going, but if you do have critical lands, something like a Cabal Coffers or a Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx or something like that, they're just going to generate you a lot of mana. I have a feeling if you can afford a Guy's Cradle, you probably have other options, but it technically works for that too. Although it's not a terrible card. Like I said, it's a little clunky, and you do have other cards that can do it, but depending on the color combination of your commander, you might not have access to them. So I think he's pretty good. Well, foil attracts a Grand Unifier, so this is already straight up better than everything else. I did skip a couple of cards here, though. I skipped a Kaya Intangible Slayer. This is the manga art? That is the manga art. I haven't actually seen any of the manga art cards. It's pretty cool. Filigree Silex, you know, whatever. Foil Grand Atraxa. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. That makes my day better. For those of you who don't know, Atraxa has taken over multiple formats. It's become a really big chase card in the set. I think only Mom, Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, is fetchier than Atraxa right now. I would love to see a Mom, because I have 2 decks that need Moms in them. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm opening up a lot of stuff from this set, so I'm hoping. So I'm going to talk real quick. So this is a Commander-centric channel, so a lot of my commentary is just for Commander. And these fast lands here, like Copperline Gorge, I hate them for Commander. We have so many better options for color fixing. These only enter play untapped during the first 2 turns of the game, effectively. I just think that if you go for the mid-range ones, like the ones that they just did in the last Innistrad set, where they come into play untapped as long as you control 2 or more other lands, are just strictly better. Again, this is Commander commentary. I'm not talking about Pioneer or Modern or anything like that. I know it's good in those formats. I do not play those formats. If you're watching this channel, you probably have more interest in Commander, so I'm just going to point out, I really don't like these for Commander. I absolutely despise them for Commander. I'm glad they got the reprint for everyone else, but for Commander, I just had to advise you to stay away from them from a personal standpoint. Alright, so this is a Phyrexian Vindicator art card. Nothing else to say about that. Blade Ambassador. Thrun, Breaker of Silence. So I think this is the 3rd version of Thrun. I think the original version of Thrun was just like Troll Aesthetic, and then we had Thrun the Aesthetic or something like that. I feel like the the Scars block Thrun is a little bit better than this. The regenerate and hexproof and all that. This one does have quite a bit going for it. I think you can make a decent mono green deck out of it. Basically, he can't be countered. He has trample. He can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. He also has, as long as it's your turn, he has indestructible. So I would definitely go probably more of a Voltron type build for him. See about pushing out some damage with him, trying to get some commander people out. We're going to have a list card. Surgical Bay. Quicksilver Fisher, Mind Splice Apparatus, Bilious Skull Dweller, and Tevish Zot. Guess which one was the list card, folks? It was Tevish Zot. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I don't know what Tevish Zot's going for. I know I have more than enough copies of him, so that one's probably just going to go right up on eBay. I mean, it's not a terrible hit, though. Alright. What have we got in here? Varan, Executioner of Thane. So, I want to like Varan here. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It only triggers once each turn. So, depending on the deck that you put him in, he could be better than something like a Zulaport Cutthroat. But I think that the decks that want to play him are going to be sacrificing or losing multiple creatures at one time, making Zulaport Cutthroat strictly better. Because if you lose 2 or more creatures, that's it. Like, you break even on 2 and you do better on 3 with Zulaport Cutthroat. That said, I think that there are going to be places for him. If you're playing like a Birthing Pod deck or something where you are going to be sacrificing things but not as frequently, I think that he would be the better choice in that case. So it's kind of one of those, what are you building, what are you doing, which one's going to be better? I will say that Zulaport Cutthroat and similar are going to be better in most cases, though. This one's going to be problems. Alright. Just so you know, some of these packs are not easy to open. That's Jace, the Perfected Mind. I'm glad that he perfected his mind. It just took Phyrexia to do it for him. Phyrexia makes everything better. Ooh, Tekthol, Inquiry Dominus. If you would proliferate twice instead. Really good with the Traxa, really good with any deck that proliferates. Stacks with Icarmoon Claw. Is that the Gauntlet? Icarmoon Gauntlet? It's another mythic from the set that when you proliferate twice. Really strong, really good. Urbrass Forge. So how's everyone feeling about the set? It's been out for about a month. I'm a little late to the party here just because I was waiting for my completed bundles, because they released a month after the set. But, ooh, Phyrexian Text Jace. Let's just keep that out here. I do collect the Phyrexian text cards. I know you can't read them. I'm not going to play this Jace. It's not going into a deck. I'm not going to try and remember all that. I just like the Phyrexian text. But yeah, what I was saying is, I had to wait for all my completed bundles to get in. I didn't have enough. I bought like $1,200 worth of completed bundles at 80 apiece. So I didn't really have money to just buy like sets or collectors or anything at release. So I am a little bit behind here. But I feel like the set just has a lot of really good stuff in it. It's just the set also just has Mondrak. This is so much better than everything else I was opening today. Atraxa and Mondrak within 12 set boosters of each other. So nice. I need like 3 copies of this guy. I have so many token decks, it's not even funny. Man, I'm so excited. But yeah, so I feel like the set is just basically, it has so much good stuff, but it gets watered down because there's just so many cards in it, which is kind of what happens with larger sets. But it does seem like, maybe I'm just excited because I really like Phyrexians. I think Phyrexians were, that is such a nice looking card. Look at that art. It's so nice. I like Phyrexians. I think they're my favorite villain. They weren't my first villains. My first villains were actually the Eldrazi. And Eldrazi are cool, but you can only do so much with Cosmic Horror. And they kind of also did stuff with Eldrazi earlier. So, like, they kind of took care of them, more or less. Although I am kind of excited about that Commander Masters deck. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of new cards, what kind of new Eldrazi they're going to put into that. But, Eldrazi are cool, but Phyrexians just... horror zombie machines. I mean, basically, it could just be Necrons from 40k. They're just awesome. So I am a little bit biased towards these sets, and to Phyrexians in general. But I feel like it is just a really strong set. I think it's got a lot of good stuff in it. Noxious Assault. Just talk about this for a second. Oh, let me put it down. So creatures control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller gets a poison counter. This is a great way to get poison counters on people, especially if you play something that makes it so that their creatures must block if able, because then because you just swing out with a whole bunch of cards, and then you force them to block those cards, and then they get a whole bunch of poison counters for it. Put it on mites. They already have toxic one, and so basically then you just do you let them through and get the point, or do you block it and get the point anyway? So. I think that this is an underrated card. I think this is a card that you will probably end up seeing a bit in the future once people kind of really catch on to it. Because it kind of puts you in a catch-22 where you're just going to get poison counters regardless. I really like it. Oh. I should be opening... I'm sorry. I am tired. I should be opening these on camera. Alright, and then Phyrexian Arena, I talked about it last time. It's still an okay draw source. It's nice that they got a reprint in a standard set. Their prices have tanked. If you get them and you're not looking to keep them, I would still hold on to them a little bit, just see if the prices can go back up. You can't really go much lower than where they're at right now anyway. But yeah, not a financial advisor, just saying how I feel about it. But that said, that's the last card we're going to show. I'm so happy about the Atraxa and the Mondrak. Just super stoked. Yeah. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm going to go ahead and record some more, and hopefully you're going to see me opening up more packs. Thank you, and have a good one.